This lesson is about overloading methods. So what is basically overloading methods? Or method overloading is a feature that allows a class to have more than one method having the same name with different signatures. So when we write a class we know that a class can have constructors, class can have properties, class can have methods. And every method, basically three things are coming. One is the return type of the method, the second name of the method, and the third one parameters. These are the three things required for any method. So return type, name of the method, and argument details. So in a class, if there exists more than one method with the same name but with the different signatures are called as method overloading. So what do you mean by method signature? Name of the method together with argument details is known as method signature. See, for example, every standalone Java program have got public static void main method with the string array, one argument. So what is the signature of this main method? Name of the method is main together with argument details. How many arguments are there? One argument. What type of argument is that? String array. So main with one argument, that is string array, is what the method signature of main method. The next method is about addNum. So addNum method have got two integer parameters. Return type is not considered at all when we talk about the signature. So addNum, name of the method with the two integer parameters. So the name of the method together with the parameter details is known as method signature. The method calling signature. So method means two things will come. One is method definition, what that method have to do. And the other one is method calling. So whenever a method is being called, then only it will get executed. So method calling signature should be matching with method definition signature. And in a class, it is not possible to have more than one method with the same signature. So return type can be anything. So in the method signature, return type is not considered at all. Name of the method together with argument details. So I cannot write, suppose in our class, we have got main method, addNum method with two integer, return type is int. So I cannot write one more method. The return type can be anything. Void addNum again with integer x comma integer y is not allowed. So overloading methods are nothing but in a class if there exists more than one method with the same name but with the different signatures. So name of the method together with the argument details. And this overloading may happen in two ways. One is by changing the number of arguments. So in this add method, the signature is add with the two integers. The next add method is add with the three integers. The number of arguments, the first add method have got two arguments. The second add method have got three arguments. That is one way the signature, method overloading is happening. The other way method overloading is happening by changing the data type of arguments. So in a separate class, we have got two add method, number of arguments are same, two. But what is the type? The first add method, two integers. Second add method, one integer and a float value. So the signature, the type is different. So number of arguments or by the type of argument. This is what we talk about method overloading. Let's see an example. Let me write a program, a new Java class. We call it as overloading test. So in this class itself, overloading test. We need to have the main method. And we define one method. So main method is already there. Void addNum. It takes no parameters. addNum. We write here sout. addNum with the zero arguments. So addNum with zero arguments or parameters. This is one method. So what's the signature of that? addNum with the no parameters. Then another one, I've got addNum with integer comma integer. So first one is no parameter. The second addNum we are having with the two integers. sout. We will say addNum with the two integers. So you can write the business logic also. addNum with the two parameters. add num with the two parameters. Then one more add method, add num method, void add num with an integer x comma float. So I cannot write one more integer method. So we cannot write one more method with the same signature. So add num into x and into y, and this also index into y. Duplicate method add num. Even if you write the return type, it will not consider. You cannot define more than one method with the same signature in the same class. So void this, we may provide it as float type. So now there won't be an issue. So add num with the two parameters, add num with two parameters, int and float. So we have got int and float, whereas here int and int. So we define three methods. When you see this overloading test class, we have got three methods: add num with no parameter, add num with the two integers, add num with an integer and a floating point value, and also main method. Now we want to call that method, so we will create an object of overloading test. Obj is equal to new overloading test. So we are creating an object of this class. Then we'll say obj dot add num 10,23f. So what is the signature of this method calling? This object is calling add num method with an integer and a floating point value. So which method will get executed? So method calling signature is add num with the two parameters. First is an integer and second is a floating point value. So when you call this, what will happen? It will call this particular method. Method definition signature is matching with that. Let us save this, run this program, run as Java application and see what answer is coming. Add num with the two parameters int and float. Now again, obj dot add num. So I'm not passing any parameters. So what's the signature of this add num method? Add num without having any parameter. So which method out of these three add nums, which method get executed? Add num with no parameters will get executed. So run this. Add num with the zero parameters. Now the same way, if you want to call this add num method with the two integers, what is that we do? Obj dot add num 10,20. So what is 10 and 20? 10 and 20 are integers. So it will call the second add num method with the two integers will get executed. So this is what method overloading. So it will give more readability. So the same method, but the functionality may be different. So add num without having any parameter will have one functionality. Add num with the two integers may have another functionality. Add num with the two parameters, first is integer and second is float, have got some other functionality. So for that purpose, we are using method overloading. The next point we need to understand is there is one more thing called the type promotion. So what do you mean by type promotion? So when you see type promotion, for example, the same example itself, I'll just comment it. I'm not giving all these methods. So what I told before is the method calling signature should be matching with method definition signature. Now for example, I have void add num, same method, integer x comma integer y. We just give a message s out inside add num method. So method calling signature should be matching with method definition signature. We can use the same program itself. Now what I do is I have two integers, int x is equal to 10, int y is equal to 20. We call obj dot add num 10 comma not 10 comma 20. We will say x comma y. So what happens now? Add num method is being called by passing two integers. X and y are two integers. Rather than writing this, let's provide a proper output also. So int n or sum is equal to, or long sum is equal to x plus y. or int sum is equal to x plus y, we'll say x plus symbol, x plus y, x plus y concatenation equal to, we want to display the sum is being displayed. Now what happens now? X value is 10. You can give it as not x. You can give it as any variable name a and b. We are calling addNum method by passing a as well as b. So the control will come to addNum method. X value becomes 10, y value is 20. So method calling and method definition both are same. So x plus y, 10 plus 20, sum becomes 30. So x value 10 plus this is concatenation operator. So that integer is concatenated with a string, plus will come as it is, plus y value plus equal to sum. Let's run this. 10 plus 20 is equal to 30. We given integer type. Now just imagine this b is of a byte type. So b is byte. So when we are calling this addNum method, we are passing an integer and a byte variable. But do we have a method definition with integer and byte? No. But still it is not showing any error. So we are calling the method by passing a is of int type and b is of byte type. So we should have a method definition with the integer and a byte. So for example, if I make it as byte, there won't be any issue. Program will work. And even if it is not, so now the method calling signature is same as that we defined in this method. Let us run this. 10 plus 20 is equal to 30. But I am just converting this to short type. Still it is working. So that means what is happening? Type promotion is happening. Data type promotion is happening. What is that? One type of argument is promoted to another type implicitly. Internally, one type of data is converted if no matching data type is found in the method definition. Byte data can be promoted to short, int, long, float or double. So if the data is byte, it can be promoted to short, int, long, float or double. Short can be promoted to int, long, float or double. Character can be promoted to int, long, float or double. Float can be promoted to double. Long can be promoted to float or double. This is what we talk about data type promotion. So we already seen that example. So addNum int x. So byte is promoted to short. It is working. Byte can be promoted to int. Working. Byte can be promoted to long, but there may be an error here. So int sum is equal to x plus y. X is integer type. Y is long type. When you perform some operation with integer and a long, it returns a long type value. It returns long type value. Because at addition, we are performing with an integer and a long type data. So it returns long. If it is integer and a float, it returns float type. If it is integer and double, it returns double type. So now let's run this. We are getting that. So this is what we talk about type promotion. A byte can be promoted to short or int or long or float or double. An int can be promoted to long, float, double, etc. So you can give long. So this is what we talk about type promotion. So one type of data can be promoted to another type implicitly. Now for example, in this one, if we have got an addNum method with an integer and a byte. So we got addNum with int and a byte variable, byte b or byte y. So in this case, which method will get executed when you call this? We are calling addNum method with an integer and a byte. So it will execute surely this add method with the integer and byte only. So sout sum is equal to, we give the value x plus y. Sum is equal to x plus y. So which one will get executed? Run this. It will execute the first method, sum is equal to 30. But if you call obj.addNum, If you set 10 comma 20 separately, if you are giving, what is this? Obj.addNum int and int. So it will execute the second method. So an integer cannot be promoted to byte, but integer can be promoted to long. So let's run this case. 10 and 20 are integers. So run as Java application, we are getting this 10 plus 20 is equal to 30. So what happens in the first case is it is calling, we are passing an integer and a byte. We already got that method. The second case when we are calling, addNum method is being called by passing two integers. 10 and 20 both are integers. So it will call a function with integer is not there. Then it will see whether that any type promotion, automatic type promotion is happening. Yes, index and long y. The second argument integer is promoted to long. This is what we talk about method overloading as well as type promotion. Happy learning.